Hey guys, Nexas here, back with another advanced kick video. Now today we're going over probably the most complicated kick I'm ever going to do in these videos, and that's the hook kick. Now since this is such a complicated kick, this is probably going to be a longer video. There's probably going to be a lot more talking in it. So I'm giving you a couple options. One, you can sit through my explanation, which I recommend you do, but if you don't want to, you can jump to whatever time future me has put up here, and that'll take you to kind of like the ending recap type thing, where I go through everything real quick and you can get a basic idea of how this stuff works and try to figure it out for yourself. So, whichever option you picked, let's get started. So, first things first, this is your hook kick. Now, if you haven't seen my roundhouse kick video, that's in the basic kick playlist, I'd recommend quickly jumping over that now and kind of skim it just so you know how to do that and what's going on, because this kick borrows a few things from that, which will make this a lot easier for me to explain if you already know what's going on. Now, by far the hardest part of this kick is getting that hook, that snap to it. And when people first try it out, they try to push their leg out and then yank it back, and they can't get that tight snap that they need to get. And how you get that is from basically throwing your knee out and jamming it against itself so it kind of pulls back on its own. Now, if this sounds painful and damaging to the joint, it very well can be if you do it wrong. There's a fine line between doing this right and hurting yourself. And you have to find kind of this place where you can just fire it out and not think about it and it'll come back. I'm not doing it so hard that it's jamming and I'm feeling it hurt here. I'm doing it just hard enough to where I don't have to think about pulling my muscle back, and it just kind of does it for me. There may not be a ton of power in the snapback, but it's happening automatically. So if I do that and then think about pulling it back, I get more power out of it and I can get a tight snap out of it. So when you're trying to work out how to get that snap, I'd recommend doing what I did in the previous clip, which is just kind of do a front kick, essentially, with varying levels of power. Don't worry about pulling it back, just fire it out and see what happens. Now, start low and then move up, because if you start this at full power, you're just going to mess with your knee. It's not going to feel good. Start low, kind of do, okay, that wasn't enough, still not enough, getting there, that kind of thing, until you find a good spot for this to be. And then once you get there, once you find the spot where it kind of comes back on its own, where you don't have to think about it, and it moves a bit, then do that level, but pull your leg back consciously. And you should get a stronger snap out of it. A bit of a hook back, where that heel could really cause some damage. So, after you've got that snap down, we can kind of put this into a kick. And the way that starts out is just like the roundhouse kick. You're in your stance, your front foot turns over, and your chamber comes up. But instead of your chamber coming up from the side and snapping to the middle, your chamber is going to come all the way past. Think kind of inside outside, that level of all the way. You're going to come past, chambered up, and then you're going to fire your snap out and kind of pull your thigh across. Now, this doesn't have a huge arc, like all the way around. Some people try to do that and they end up losing their power. It's a pretty small snap. It's about here to here is where this hook goes. So you come up, snap out, and pull back with that. And hopefully what it ends up looking like is you're here, foot turns, comes up over, back around. So, one last thing before I wrap the hook kick video up, and that's the way your foot's pointing. You want your foot to be kind of pulled back with your toes pointing up. Because when you do this kick, your heel is what's doing the damage. You're not hitting someone with the flat part of your foot. You're using the wrecking ball that is your heel to destroy whatever you're trying to collide with, whether it be somebody's jaw, you're using this to hit the ribs for whatever reason. I once cut a guy in the shoulder with this on accident and it really hurt. So that's what you're running for. Alright? Pull your foot back, use the heel. So that's everything about your basic hook kick. I'll be doing a shorter video about a spinning hook kick later on, which is kind of like the transition from side kick to spinning side kick. It's a small modification, but it really does warrant another video, mainly because I don't want to put it together with this and make this one video so incredibly long that nobody sits to the end to get the spinning hook kick part. So, that'll be coming later, and I think that's pretty much everything about this kick. Usually I have more to rant about, but today not so much. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.